What's going on, everybody? It's Super Robot Ed, and we're going to talk about this article from comicbook.com about the Playmates toy reveals, the first look at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition figures and Zords exclusive. Okay, first things first, not exclusive. Jeez, let's drop that. So this is from comicbook.com. Basically, we're going over the new figures that Playmates are going to be releasing, and we're going to talk about that. Basically, Hasbro got the IP for Transformers in 2020, 2019, I believe. They released Beast Morphers, which was a adaptation of Go Busters, which Go Busters had already been out since like 2012. Usually with Sentai versus Power Rangers, they would always be a year behind. But because they skipped the season, they actually got 2 years behind, and they never really caught back up once, it was in the Nickelodeon's hands. So basically what we're looking at now is basically the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Big Six, the 5 Megazords, and a possible high-end premium version of the Lightning Collection. So as it goes, they're going to be doing action figures, collectibles, role-play toys, and accessories. Now, a few of the accessories that they're selling right now is there's a Morpher, which will include all 5 power coins, for example, and 40 sounds and phrases. Will retail for $16.99. There's no picture of that. There's also another piece that was the Blade Blaster, which that's basically the little weapon that they use. That's going to have over 20 phrases and sounds. It can turn into a sword, and that's going to be for $20. Now we're looking at next is the Auto Morphin figures. Now these, if you're familiar with these, they had figures like these back in the old days of Mighty Morphin. And they redid them a few times. The gimmick is cool, for kids. It's kind of fun. Oh, you can see their face, and now it flips to them looking like they have the mask on. Now, these figures supposedly are going to sell for $9.99. With those prices, wow, those are like, it makes me almost feel like they're prices from the 90s. But how cheap will they be? Will the plastic quality be great? Because for $9.99, I'm not expecting much, especially with what we get from Hasbro. But a lot of people confuse these with this next slide that's going to come behind it, where it was a shadowy silhouette. Now, they have not given a price on these figures yet, but I'm suspecting these are going to be, the collectibles that they're referring to, because the Lightning Collection was a good example of that. So as you can see, these figures clearly have special, they got ball joints and different things. They kind of look like a 6-inch figure. Now, a lot of people say they may be like the Turtles and something like that. Say, I know Playmates does make the Turtle toys. I don't have any Playmates Turtle toys. I don't know how that's going to be or anything like that. But this is supposed, of course they're going to keep this, because this is the stuff that people are really wanting. And, of course, it's probably going to be the original Power Rangers, as you can see here. If you could look at the silhouette, it's definitely the original 6. So of course they're going to start here and maybe work their way down to the later seasons. But as we know, usually with a lot of people have taken over the IP after it left Bandai of America, not Bandai of Japan. You, after a while, once you get to like the 3rd season, it seems like everybody stops. Now with the Dinozords, they basically kind of remind me of the cheap Hasbro ones that came out before they did the Zord Ascension Project version. Basically, they have that plastic look, but I will admit though, the Pterodactyl Zord looks a lot better than what they did with Hasbro. It doesn't just look like an empty ashtray. Almost gives me a good vibe, but the way that they have them transformed in the picture gives me some issues, because if you have the Playmates Voltron, as you know, the way that they have the arm sockets, that they don't turn, they have to actually turn the whole leg mechanism, which makes it bad. So I hope that's not the same similar situation with this. Time will tell. We'll probably see more pictures. If I do, I'll post them. But other than that, it looks cool. I see some chrome. I see hollow. Like I said, Playmates is a different type of plastic. Not too keen on how they do their things in a sense. But like I said before, we just got to wait and see how things come out. And I'm definitely won't be an early adopter of these figures. For me, I have the SOC version of both this and the Dragon Zord, so I'm good as far as that. I hope we see more Power Rangers. I really do. I do want to see the later seasons, and I want to see some better toys. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are we making? I mean, if you're going to take over the brand and use the original 6, give us a little something better than what we already got. But I'm afraid it's going to be, cheap mess. And I guess they're going to test the waters with their version of Lightning Collection. The sculpts don't look as lean as the Lightning Collection, so that's probably going to be a factor in that. Like I said before, I'm not upset. I mean, at least we're still getting Power Rangers. The Power Rangers is dead in America, not in Japan. Japan is still thriving. In fact, they're on their 50th anniversary of Super Sentai. And right now it is the #1 Gorizuger, and that's now my favorite Sentai. I did not watch Boominger. I just thought, I didn't like Boominger, and I found out that it's got some of his legs from Go-Onger. Go-Onger to me was better, but I didn't care for Go-Onger either. So if you don't know your Super Sentai, don't ask. But as far as I'm concerned, #1 Sentai Goruzu, whatever it's called right now, I'm loving that show. Amazing. I just hope that we get more stuff down the line. I just hope that for the high-end stuff, we get some good sculpts on those figures, and maybe we can get some high-end versions of the Megazords and just see how Playmates is going to work with this. But with the way that Playmates rolls, I doubt it. They have a sort of like a niche price point to stay within that small, cheap range. So I think it's just going to be the cheap stuff and some decent looking 6-inch figures, and that's it. That's all I could see coming from this right now. Other than that, we'll see what comes later. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. Are you a Power Rangers fan, Super Sentai fan, or how do you feel about Playmates getting the Power Rangers IP? Me personally, overall, it didn't matter because Hasbro didn't really do a good job with it. In fact, I think Hasbro really squandered away an IP because they just didn't have the money to do it. That's just my thoughts. That's all I got. Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.